Hey everybody, it's Kathy from Milk Studio. Today we will do part 2 of the Southern Diamonds tutorial. We ended on row 3, so let's turn our work and we'll chain 3. We'll do a V-stitch in the first stitch, which remember is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Skip the next stitch, V-stitch in the next stitch. Skip the next 2 stitches, V-stitch in the next stitch. Skip the next 2 stitches, V-stitch in the next stitch. It tells you to do that 3 times. So this is the second time. Skip the next 2 stitches and V-stitch in the next stitch. And this is our third time. Double crochet in the last 2 stitches before the chain 2 space. And then chain 2, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in this space. So let's do 2 double crochet. There's 1. There's 2. Chain 2 and 2 double crochet. Double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Skip the next stitch, V-stitch in the next stitch. Skip the next 2 stitches, V-stitch in the next stitch. We'll do that 3 times. So this is the first time. Skip the next 2, V-stitch. This is the second. Skip the next 2, V-stitch. And this makes the third. And then the pattern will tell you to do a V-stitch and double crochet in the top of the chain 3. So let's do that. At the end of row 4, you should have 10 double crochet and 10 V-stitches. So count your stitches and then come back and let's start row 5 together. We'll chain 3 and let's do 3 double crochet in the first stitch. And then the pattern will tell you to do 3 double crochet in the next chain 1 space 5 times. So let's do that. One, 2, 3. I have a snag coming up. Do you see that? If this were my real project, I would take that out and I wouldn't leave it in, but just simply because this is a tutorial, I'm not going to bother with it. But don't leave it in there if it's your real project. You want your fabric to be as strong as it can be. So this is the third time. And sometimes that just happens with yarn. No big deal. Just take it out. This is the fourth time, and this is the last time. This is the fifth time. Skip the next 2 stitches and do 3 double crochet in the next stitch. Skip the next stitch and do a double crochet in the next stitch. And then we're back to doing the 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in the center. Chain 2, 2 double crochet. So then the pattern will tell you to double crochet in the next stitch, skip the next stitch, 3 double crochet in the next stitch, and then the pattern will tell you to do 3 double crochet in the next chain 1 space 5 times. So you will place your 3 double crochet in these next chain 1 spaces 5 times. I'll do the first one with you and get you started. And I'll meet you back at the end of this row. Okay, so let's do these last 3 double crochet in the chain 1 space together. We'll skip the next stitch and then we'll do 4 double crochet in the top of the chain 3. The yarn wants to split on me right there. There we go. Two, 3, and 4. So you're at the end of round 5. You should have 50 double crochet. Make sure that you do 50 double crochet. Make sure that you do before you start round 6. So let's go ahead and start round 6. Chain 3, V-stitch in the first stitch. Skip the next stitch, V-stitch in the next stitch. So then the pattern will tell you to skip the next 2 stitches and V-stitch in the next stitch 7 times. So let's talk about that for just a second. So if you look, you have 3 double crochet in these sets. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So the pattern will tell you to skip the next 2 stitches and V-stitch in the next stitch. Skip the next 2 stitches, V-stitch in the next stitch. So if you look, you will basically be placing a V-stitch in this middle double crochet of these 3 double crochet sets. So let's do the first set together. Skip the next 2 stitches, V-stitch in the next stitch, skip the next 2 stitches, V-stitch in the next stitch. You'll repeat this sequence and I'll meet you back right before we turn to do our double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the center. So let's do the last V-stitch together. Then you'll do your 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. So you will skip the next stitch, V-stitch in the next stitch. Once again, you'll come up to the part where it says skip the next 2 stitches and V-stitch in the next stitch 7 times. So just make sure that you are doing your V-stitch in the middle of these 3 double crochet, and I'll meet you back at the end. So let's do this last V-stitch together. Skip the next 2 stitches, skip the chain 1, skip this next stitch, and we will do a V-stitch and double crochet in the top of the chain 3. And a double crochet. So at the end of row 6, you should have 18 V-stitches and 6 double crochet. So count your work and make sure that you do before we move on to row 7. For row 7, the pattern will tell you to chain 3 and to do 3 double crochet in the first stitch. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then the pattern says to double crochet in each stitch and chain 1 space across until the center. So you will do exactly what it says. You will double crochet in each stitch and chain 1 space all the way across until you get to the center. So let's do that. I'll do a few with you to get you started. So basically you're just doing a double crochet in each double crochet and chain 1 space. When you get to the chain 2 space, you'll do like you normally would and do 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. And then you'll start off going back around the other side with doing a double crochet in each stitch in each chain 1 space across. So just continue working down your rows, making sure that you don't miss a stitch or a chain 1 space, okay? And I'll meet you back at the end. So we're almost at the end of row 7. Let's just finish off these few rows, working in each double crochet and chain 1 space. Then when you get to the last stitch, you'll do 4 double crochet in the top of the chain 3. Once again, sometimes you have to help it. There we go. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now you're at the end of row 7. So you should have 70 stitches, which means you would have 35 on this side and 35 on the other side. So count your stitches to make sure that you have 70. If you do, you'll be ready to start part 3, which is coming out soon. Have a great day, everybody.